Today we are going to teach you about China. Some things will include physical geography, climate and vegetation, history and government, population, culture, and our country today. Enjoy. Some major physical features in China are the Taklamakan Desert, the Gobi Desert, the Yellow River, the Yangtze River, the Plateau of Tibet, and various plains. The elevation is higher in the southwestern part of China because it borders the Himalayan mountains. From there on, the elevation will decline until you get to the coast, making it sea level. The climate varies all over China. The three main climate zones are the highlands, steppe, and humid subtropical. Western China has a dry climate, but as you head east, the climate will get more moist. Also, in the highland climate, the higher the elevation, the cooler the temperatures, and the lower the elevation, the warmer the temperatures. The vegetation is more diverse in the warm, moist climates, rather than the cooler, drier climates. Near the coast, you will have forests with your coniferous and deciduous trees, but as you head to the deserts, you will just have desert scrub like tiny bushes and cacti. Overall, China has a very diverse climate and vegetation with many physical features that factor into this diversity. Breaking news. In Hong Kong, China, dinosaur eggs were found in Haiyuan City, which holds the record for most dinosaur eggs found. These eggs were found Sunday, April 19th. 43 eggs were uncovered, some being as wide as 5 inches.
Nearly 17,000 dinosaur eggs have been uncovered at the city since the first group of fossils founded in 1996.
Oh my gosh! You found my babies!
Yeah. China has a communist-type government, but they also have a president. The president is elected through the National People's Congress. The NPC consists of deputies who are indirectly elected to a term of 5 years. They are the ones who decide on the national economic strategy, elect or remove high office holders, and change the constitution. The president and the premier are in the executive branch. The president is also the head of the state, and the premier is head of government. Once the president is elected, he or she will have a 5-year term and can be re-elected. The premier is chosen by being nominated by the president and then approved by the NPC. China's president today is Xi Jinping, and the premier is Li Keqiang. A major historical event in China is the Cultural Revolution from 1966 to 1976, launched by leader Mao Zedong. He did it in order to reassert his authority over China and is a political and ideological campaign aimed at reviving revolutionary spirit. In 1976, Mao dies, ending the revolution.
Population in China is more dense in the east because the physical geography is flat, rather than the west, which is highlands. Also, there are water sources in the east, like various lakes and rivers, whereas there are none in the west, being mostly dry. China is considered newly industrialized because although the literacy rate is high, the GDP per capita is very low. The other factors aren't too terrible, but it is the GDP that brings it down. Looking at the population pyramid, you don't see a pattern. It does not show factors of being less developed or more developed. Countries tend to be newly industrialized when the population pyramids are scattered. More breaking news. Will the U.S. say yes to a made-in-China car? Volvo says it will begin exporting vehicles made in factory in southwest China to the United States next month. The first time Chinese-built passenger cars will roll into American showrooms. Parent company Geely Automobile, which bought Volvo in 2010, is seeking to prove that a Chinese company can manage a global auto brand. Geely's gambit will be watched to see if it paves the way for other Chinese car manufacturers to crack development markets. CEO Håkan Samuelsson said Volvo planned to sell 1,500 Chinese-made S60 Inscription sedans in 2015 and 5,000 annually in subsequent years.
China's cuisine is very diverse and unique in many ways. Most dishes will have meat like chicken, pork, or shrimp with either noodles or rice. As for drinks, you can expect tea, water, soft drinks, or beer. The main ingredients found in Chinese cuisine is soy sauce, tofu, different vegetables, bok choy, eggplants, chilies, etc. During recreational hours, people in China will have basketball, figure skating, soccer, badminton, horse racing, curling, and dragon boat racing. Some traditional events in China is the Chinese New Year and the Mid-Autumn Moon Festival. China's main religion is Buddhism, which was founded by Siddhartha Gautama, which practices meditation, karma, reincarnation, the Eightfold Path, and the Four Noble Truths. The philosophy found in China is Confucianism, which is a system of ethics, education, and statesmanship taught by Confucius and his disciples, stressing love for humanity, ancestor worship, reverence for parents, and harmony in thought and conduct. Other philosophies present in China is Taoism and Legalism.
I guess we'll just.
China is number one. Go China!